Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Jay Cartere from growonyoutube.com, teaching you how to be better. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips to help you be more confident on camera. So stay tuned.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long.
So a lot of people struggle with feeling confident on camera when they first start getting in front of the camera and talking to the camera. It is kind of weird because you're talking to an inanimate object and it does take some time to get used to it, but these tips will help you acclimate to talking on camera and being on camera a little bit more quickly, hopefully. So the first tip is to think of the camera like a person. That is the way you want to be talking to the camera. You don't want to be talking to it like you're performing, because that comes off a little bit weird when you watch it back. You just want to talk how you talk to your friend or a family member, that sort of thing. You want to kind of keep it cool and, you know, casual. Don't try and overperform, especially on YouTube. If you were doing some sort of news show, then maybe you'd want to, no, I think the best way would just be to talk like how I'm talking. Otherwise, it just seems a bit forced and it starts to seem weird. So practice talking like it's a person. Don't try not to get too anxious the fact that you're talking to a camera or the fact that this video is going to be seen by people. Just think like you're just talking how you normally talk and try and do that, and it will make it seem much more natural. I hope this seemed natural because there was a little bit of hesitation in there, but I'm just talking like how I just talk to anyone. So like this, I'd be hesitating and shit when I'm talking to anyone, so I'm not even going to cut any of this shit out. So that is basically tip number 1. Let's get on to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is to practice speaking without hesitating. Hesitations are like when you go when you say you know, that sort of stuff. See, I just said you know isn't that much of a big hesitation. I think ums and ahs and that sort of thing is much easier to cut out like that. If I was not thinking about the hesitations, I might have added a in there. And the way you want to do this is to, instead of saying just breathe, let the silence be there, because the silence, I think the reason why people use ums and ahs and that sort of thing is because they don't want that awkward silence. But the silence isn't that awkward if you just accept it and let it be there, and then your speech sounds so much better. And if you feel like you're gonna make a mistake or you don't know what to say next on camera, just don't say anything. Like, there was probably a cutback there where I was thinking of the next thing to say, but instead of trying to rush it and just get out something to get to where I needed to be, I just stopped. And then I continue, and then you can just cut that in and it's easier for editing and it just looks more comfortable. Tip number 3 is to keep on making videos and remember that you can edit out the bad parts. Now, making videos is a very important part of getting better at being on camera. You need to continue being on camera and just practice doing that. There's no way around it. You can't flip a switch and be good on camera the next day. You need to practice, and over time you will get used to it. And you have to remember that you can edit out anything that doesn't go well, so don't get too flustered if you mess up, especially if you're not live streaming and you're just talking to the camera and you're doing a video. Then it really doesn't matter if you mess up, you can just cut that out. So just let loose, like it's not that deep. Just be you and don't worry about being super performative or that sort of stuff. Don't worry about anything. Just look at the camera and say what you want to say and keep it moving. And over time, the camera will become your friend. You'll be used to the camera. You'll be like, yes, my camera buddy. And you'll be cool with the fact that you're talking to the camera, and you'll be a lot more comfortable on camera. When I first started out, I wasn't comfortable at all. It was a very weird experience, and I needed to get over the fact that other people would be watching it and maybe people I know would watch it and stuff like that. You need to just stop caring about what other people think and just make the content. And then you make content that's better, and then you don't give a shit about what other people think because you think the content is good. And watching yourself back in the early stages will be very awkward. You won't like the sound of your voice because you haven't really heard it before. You won't like the way you look on camera because you haven't really been doing that for a very long time. But over time, you'll get used to it and you'll become comfortable eventually. And I hope these tips will help you get there in a quicker manner than I did. Before you leave, guys, I want to tell you about the Grow on YouTube Gaming Facebook group. Now, this is a place where we can come together, support each other, learn about other people's experiences and journeys on YouTube, and you can ask me questions and we can have a discussion about all things YouTube, all things growth, all that sort of stuff. So be sure to click on that link in the description. Come over, become a part of the community, start to grow on YouTube and be better.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.